Hey everybody, it's that time again. What time? Time for Whatcha Readin. People ask me all the time, as a professional writer of some renown, what are you reading? When you're not writing, what are you reading? And this week it's something a little different. Hold on here, I got to make an adjustment. Um, Something a little different. I picked up these two books of artwork by Niso Ramponi, and they're thick art books, and they're from Lost Art Books, which publishes Lost Art. They present these collections of artwork that maybe most Americans haven't seen or have forgotten, or it's been lost in the past. And in these two volumes, they're just loaded with artwork by this by Niso Ramponi, who's a master illustrator, master cartoonist, master animator. This guy was a jack of all trades, and he was good at all of them. And I mean, he did movie posters in Italy. He did spot cartoons for a lot of the men's magazines, and he also did a lot of fine illustration for what I would imagine were slick magazines over there. So he just covered it all. He also did film production work for movies like Star Crash, where he would do concept art. So he was really good at all of it. But these collections mostly cover his cartooning work from the 1950s. And a lot of these cartoons were reprinted in American men magazines. If some of you are old enough to remember those little digest-sized men's humor magazines that featured lots of buxom ladies in suggestive situations. And, you know, the kind of magazine your dad hid in the sock drawer. And but the thing about these are, I think I laughed once. I saw 300 of these cartoons and laughed once. The problem is they were a lot of them relied on puns in Italian to work, so they weren't initially funny. And the book explains a lot of it, but once a joke is explained, it's not funny. Uh, so but and some of them reference political stuff, pop culture in Italy in the 1950s, commenting on world events, and a lot of that I didn't get either, and it's not funny because it happened years ago. Some of the boy girl stuff is still funny, but again relies on Italian puns. Apparently, there's a lot of words in Italian that have a double meaning. It's like a language with double entendres built into it. uh, I mean, the same word for this thing, and then it's the same word for this other rude thing. And I guess it all depends on context. But who cares? This line work, look at this line work. It's just amazing. This guy was such a fantastic cartoonist. It doesn't matter if the cartoons aren't funny if you're an aficionado of this kind of work. And he was extremely prolific in both black and white and full color. And it's just a joy to look at. And, and of course he was famous for the way that he drew women. Because it was you can call it sexist. It was just, that's the way it was. Men were men and women were women back there in the 50s. And nobody had a hard time defining either. But his stuff has a charm to it. Despite the subject matter, there's an innocence to the work, and just a colossal talent, just an incredible range this guy had. And one thing that struck me is, particularly when I was looking at the black and white drawings, is this guy had to have been a major influence on Jordi Bernay, the artist of Torpedo and many other things. Most recently Jonah Hex in the United States, which American fans will remember him for. But there's elements in Ramponi's work that obviously translated or influenced or really impressed Jordi Bernay, and he brought that sort of quality of line, that sort of line work that looks so easy, but can only be done after thousands and thousands of repetitions to create this sort of loose, um, you know, intuitive kind of line. But and Ramponi was all about the line, and Bernay is all about the line. And I got to think that Bernay, I got to think Joe Kubert was looking at this guy too. Some of the effects he gets, you see in later Kubert work in the 60s. Because, Ramponi's work under the name Kremos, he did his cartoons under the pen name Kremos. They were appearing here in the United States, and he was doing illustrations for Playboy and some of the more premium or premier men's publications here in the United States. But anyway, that's it. Two excellent cartooning collections. Probably an artist you have never heard of. Now you can Google his name and see a whole bunch of fantastic images that pop up. And that's about it. I'll read some more and I'll let you know what I think, and I'll see all of you down the road.